prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened one, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, supreme guide of human beings who contain, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the shackled cloud. I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Siddhartha, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you the completely and fully awakened, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the shackled cloud. I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When O supreme amongst humans you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise then I prostrate, whose pure bodies was supremely pure, wisdom ocean uncontrolled, fame that blazed with mystery of worlds, winner of the best, Lord you I prostrate, with the supreme sight of space once spotless clear, color like gold, you I prostrate. Dust free like you, street worlds are not, incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Saviour having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit whose qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the one God to thusness, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime reality, to the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and who also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realization, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the sublime community intending virtue, I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all three every cloud homage, to all worthy of respect, bound with bodies as many as all realms, atoms, and all aspects, with supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform any perfect virtuous action. Subdue your mind thoroughly, for this is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of the lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew, or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, seed conditioned things and such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all seeing, subdue the foe of faults and be delivered from samsara's ocean, returned by the way of effectually clean for the heart of perfection, wisdom sutra. I prostrate to thus did I hear it one time. The vagabond was dwelling on a suburb dismounted and not here. Together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the vagabond was absorbed in the concentration of the categories of the Dharma, called profound perfection. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound perfections and beheld those 5 aggregates also as the pure inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, the venerable Shariputra, said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara. How shall any son of a lineage stray, who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara said to the venerable Shariputra, Shariputra, any son of the lineage or lord of the lineage, who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom, should look upon a likeness, correctly and repeatedly beholding those 5 aggregates, also sentient in their nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra likewise all phenomena are emptiness, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no odor, no taste, no object of touch, and no vibration.
There is no I element, and so on, up to and including no mind element and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the endpoint of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifestly completely awaken to unsurpassable perfect complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequal, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as the truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared, Kaya Kaya Gate Gate Paragate Paratam Gate Bodhisoha. Shariputra, Bodhisattva Mahasattva should trade in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Bhagavan arose from that concentration and commended the Bodhisattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, saying, well, said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you have indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoiced. The Bhagavan having thus spoken, the Venerable Sharadaviputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, those surrounding in their entirety along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, are overjoyed and highly praised. That's spoken by the Bhagavan. To page 25 for the short mandala. Sashi Bhoge Chushi Mitokra Rira Nide Kempade Sange Shindu Mikte Uwati Chokunanda Shinga Choparashu Jetsalama Tamba Kinanji Choku Kala Jete Chichune Chitara Sambe Dushe Simala Zage Chuji Chawa Atu Song Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kamniriyataya Sanje Chedan Saji Chanan La Chanchu Pada Dani Jasanchi Dagi Chujin Jibe Sanam Ji Dola Benji Sanje Drupara Sanje Chedan Saji Chanan La Chanchu Pada Dani Jasanchi Dagi Chujin Jibe Sanam Ji Dola Benji Sanje Drupara Sanje Chedan Saji Chanan La Chanchu Pada Dani Jasanchi Dagi Chujin Jibe Sanam Ji Dola Benji Sanje Drupara Vanga de Zenji Sabe, Dao de Jepa Mechire de Mechine de Kodam de Lan Jan de Lan, Don Yin de Sun de Jebe Lan, Chichi Sun de Gan Jen de Go, Chen de Lan de Zenji. So de Lo Yen de Lan Don Jan, Ban de Zere Lan Mara Maji, Da Ge Jura Ben de Yen, Kati Chen. Gozan de Jen Mo Do de Do So. Ai, Dan Zo Kuno, Kom de Skiro.
Yeah.
Tatan Dan Zo Shine Ko Tue de. 아니 라니 지부터다 많이 봐. 아니 수수 셴바데 마음바 미신 심진신라 펜버드베아 치드는 년기 삼바 군론데 니신메 전주 심 군론 심바지. 야고 세다 쇼스로.
Aril, assuming the correct motivation, we will meditate on motivation of listening to this teaching on shamatha, cultivating calm abiding not just for oneself, but in the future one will be able to benefit beings having accomplished such a practice. In short, motivating with a bodhicitta mind.
Why that? Doing Lamrim Chimok, that she neck walk. The ticket one, they gave us some wind and go.
One should rejoice that today one has the fortune to hear the teaching on cultivating shamatha from the great stages of the path to full awakening. Rejoice.
Why, that was in on the Chinese talk. Chinese YouTube dan share.
Yeah.
They gonna da Chinese community na any tango. That YouTube gonna younger and it's young said on them. Jiggy, any mash shedding you do away what you do. The day the usual and a love John Chawadi. Catching resting not under the Gumrim. Le Sheva Tang and Uda to Zena, Yavang to see Jage Cone, and she never to remember Sunya.
Yeah.
The day you're in, and to the gender to Zena. Sim never tabula din Sunda. The day you're that is on the day shung to the danger. And she never to win, and she never said engine.
Okay, so we were looking at the prerequisites and cause and conditions we needed to have prior to cultivating shamatha. And then we began to look at the main cultivation itself, so the main practice. And part of that was that we had to have, in terms of the cause and conditions, a suitable place and so forth. But we also needed to study thoroughly about its cultivation and have a valid lineage. And that we need to apply 8 applications or antidotes to 5 prospective faults that can come up. And these are laid out in the various texts, such as the 5 faults are listed in Maitreya's text, the separation of the middle from the extremes. And then, achieving calm abiding through 6 powers and so forth. And then there are these 9 settings or 9 stages alluded to in Asanga's text. We need to know them.
Tanda, the Shazan Shung to Zenalaya, things into the source of what la bewa. The rest is Shung said and the magic. She never do the was torn and she never things in Kumbina, things in German, which you to rest. Jeremajing the song the Tango, things in Tola Neves, Tab the Dagi Bena, things in Yavato Juros.
What Lama Tsongkhapa is saying is that when the collections are gathered together and one has created merit, one can cultivate the single-pointed concentration that's free from faults. This is something Lama Tsongkhapa is clearly stating.
I deal with it in this to things answer. That and it is the last of things. Some danger menga sabotaging that shivji is a sabo shivin de yin sije. Kansan get a chimura with that jigina and a day can't shave the menga dosh. Shungda meeting be and menga jiji in jiji yin sije and the rest tap to me among which yours in a desergane.
Nimeka Nangshin Kombore dirbe.
Shung said and Dembadazo. Any Mingzamia Mindusro. Shung said and Dembadazola. Mingza Mevache. Any Mengai Sije. Jig that Dachimbu Yinsro. Shung down to Deke Mevache. The rest to dig your rest. And Tizama say anything is in Soda Medembe. ni shine gom de ni du la ni be tu zu gyurung bo gom jab de dan ya ni ding zin du ya chune yo ma res che da
So Lama Tsongkhapa goes on to warn that some people don't rely on these valid sources or texts, and they compose their own commentaries on their practices. And as a result of this, having tried to accomplish calm abiding but not following the faultless lineage or the valid texts, however long they try to, they cannot accomplish calm abiding. They seek the meaning elsewhere.
다 단다 디 람린 나라 제가 딘데 인자 다 람린 나라야 니 다 띵인지 당아스나 다 띵인지 흉체단 된바 두저 롭정 제와선 셰브 잠마제 디게 알롱당 두저 티준데 제 타고라 디제 마tum나나 기승 셰브나 시리 가서 겁나 용구요 말에 딘데 참여 거네 아니 신의 띵인지 즉 내단 야고지 셰나 띵인지 꿰매 버지 아니 누구에 대해 좀 보시지래 해서와
So, in that sense, then it is that one should not only study the valid instruction on how to cultivate shamatha from the valid source, but also, as we mentioned last week, one should also have the transmission of that source. Because if you don't have that transmission, no matter how long you meditate, the results will not come. So this is because we want to develop a type of single-pointed concentration which is flawless, faultlessness.
다데 제르머진 데스동다 당아 디스로 다 단다 람린 시메카데 시내 두당 렘바 송바디 우단 샵지 냠네 탐제 다 고족번에 제 슈마디사고 냠네 탐제 아니 슝치문 남네 중어 코나라 지스로 하시다 단다 제르머진 마송야디 슝다 우다당 사딩아당 도데젠다 아니 장사당다 슝체당 덴바 두조라 뚝제 두저게 슝 코나 인생 두조라 코나세 슝 첨본남네 중 코나라 뜻은 슝 대자체의 저기 요성에 대 제벌 때네 네 대야 딩인진 두즈나 중아 중 체원나 랑디 셰버치 당에 단다 마 제르머진 셰디 슝다 튠바 슝나네야 네 슝네네 내가 차차야 되게 슝 코나라 때문에 이미지 신다르게 때문에 해서 와시는 디인자 제르머진 두줄을 슈네 두버데 디달라 되네
Right. So from Lama Tsongkhapa's own personal experience of having cultivated shamatha, calm abiding, he goes on to say that the sources he uses that were mentioned, such as Maitreya's ornament, and separating the middle from the extremes, and then from Asanga's five texts on the levels, taking these as personal instructions, the only practice to do is to take those from beginning to end, because these are the classical texts. Therefore, Lama Tsongkhapa states that he will explain what is following now from drawn from those classic texts. No. Oh, sorry. Oh, page 33.
다 데라 니스로 데라 니스 띵이지 꿰메데 두주당 데라 데네 심내 제베린 바스다 데젠 코란 세부쇼지 소용도 띵이지 곰디 꿰메바지 컨데스 공고 요러스 데 제주당 데라 데네 심내 띵이지 껴서 많이 바네 띵이지 셈이 내자디야 다른 링 땅에 림바디 컨데스 당고 요레스다 디자인은 송사.
Okay, so what comes now for actual accomplishment? First, subheading, how to develop the flawless concentration, and secondly, what are the stages in which the mental states are traversed or developed? This is very clear.
다 당보들라 딩이지 쯤에 기주들라 숨샤로.
Yeah.
디zen 숨 당보대 가서는 심미벌라 대외 원디시다고 당한서 시내 신이세운지 시스도 셈 정화당 고라고 시내 아니 셈 내고 여러 심미벌을 내고 여러
Laril.
심미벌 내벌라 심미벌 따고 여러 지나 심미벌 대외 원디 간디치고 여러스 미벌 대외 투스 간디치고 여러스 미벌 대외 워디 간디치고 여러스 따디래
All right. So therefore, the first heading is with regards to cultivating the flawless concentration. Now, when we look at the Tibetan Shine, it means to calmly abide. So this first part of it, the pacification of mind, is because you have pacified laxity and excitement. And lastly, you set the mind, having pacified it, so to calmly abide. And then we can look at what to do prior to focusing the attention on an object, or our focal object. Secondly, what to do whilst doing it. And finally, what to do after one is focused. So these three.
다 심미벌라 대외 원디시다 시주세요 돼. 당벌라 띵인지 곰발라 메도나 당한서 띵인지 곰다 띵인지는 곰자야 되라. 가오메우체 레로레인 거다.
Yes.
다디 단다 우데나게다 우다게 디셰로 레로 니방아원 디지케스 니방아여레와 이게 님부 디지케된 바스타 니방아가 나게 니와 당보도 가래. 레로 당 알아서 상말라 레로데다 강에 십조여라. 제사 띵이진 곰녀마 되버체 아 산산라 칼레카뇨 산산라 당에도 좀 말해서 다니를 예벨레로체로 다니를 예벨레로 레로스도 게 좋은 거 말했지 지내다 신내 가고 검토 그랬어 수수 좀제 마우스 직 정의 신일에서는 아다 내가 대체 되는 곰자고 쓰지 내가 아니 길로 벌레로 아다 드링다 샤다 산이 잡으스라
Yeah.
레로 숨세죠 레로 숨디 다니엘 예벨레로 길로 벌레로 자왕한 신일레로 레로 숨다 레로 숨디다 완전 만찰에 열다 만찰에 열다
So prior to focusing on one's focal object or object of meditation, one needs to know the potential faults. The first obscuration or obstacle to cultivating calm abiding is alluded to in Maitreya's text. He talks about the 5 faults and getting over those 5 faults with 8 applications. So the first of those 5 faults is laziness. So laziness is, we need to be free of that. Laziness is a big troublemaker. Sometimes we're just tired and we don't want to meditate. And secondly, we can have a type of laziness that we put ourselves down, we deprecate, thinking, oh, I couldn't possibly achieve shamatha. And thirdly, and also we can procrastinate, thinking, I shall not do it today. I'll do such and such a work, but do it tomorrow. So we've all got these lazinesses.
제단다 디 레로님불라 가르고 그랬어요. 딱그 예방아 두지게는 님부제나 님부시요 레로 세상 레로들 님부시로 님부 제가네 아니 시르바 시세요.
So then, if we have set forth that there are 5 faults that stop us accomplishing calm abiding, we can apply a countermeasure to those 5 faults with 8 antidotes or trainings. And so 4 of these 8 act as a countermeasure to the first fault of laziness.
지난다 딜라 딘데시기요다 당보 먼저 아니 띵이지 마쇼야 곰 주릉무 곰제 아니 시내다 톱걸라보다 시내 톱이나 아니 류신장게 되어 신장세 톱고요라
나를
신장라도 가르서는 신장세야데 아니 류신장다 심신장스니요 류신장세야데 아니 개와 먼저 그 개와라 뇨부도와 개와 채워다가 뇨비용도 신장이나 류지 아니 gyawa chiya la kadup chene mejo, kange chene mejo. Ani sim je ya, ani kom jaya da, jing mila pendo chiya da, kawa ina pe gado janja me shi jige, ni sim na la chi kange chene, maji wara wara chune medin jo, chu chiya la pe kadu ina pe kalang, kago shivu ji yode be sor chige. Tende ji la Xinjiang so warwa. O tende ji yo, tingi zin gombe dewu di, tende ji yo re esirwa.
That is. So the first countermeasure to laziness is to know the qualities, of single-pointed concentration, one of which is pliancy, a type of serviceability of body and mind. So there's pliancy of body and pliancy of mind. So physical pliancy means that you won't feel sluggish or lethargic physically when you meditate. So there's no way that your accomplishment of virtue can be blocked on the physical level, but also that the mind is also in a state of virtue, and that you are looking to benefit others, and there's a joy in your practice. So therefore, in general, there's this kind of delight. This is delight in practicing Dharma. Sorry. So one has to know the results of shamatha, which is pliancy, to go for it. Sorry, Gishli.
Chadandi yu devude gombe devude tong ngaranzo jigwara. Manzo lega de laja yago yuna ani kale shiv jagda shogwe shidu sumba shiwa ten lanji dojirwa.
Yeah.
Kale je khalsina dile dene laja yongo shingu yorwa.
Rwa.
Laja yago yobe shinje ani lega che la bezwen chidu gudwarwa. Ti jigwara nanzo shine gombe pen shine nada tingin jin ji tobyonde. Ani che 단당한저 다 팅상 세리게 류게 네지 근데 가서래 당한저 그게 전에 되려 가서 내고 말아도서 야 열제도 그래서 그러다 이뮤 시스템 라도서
알레온 디핑그라딜 신장
도저 야 열제도 그래서 면사 먹었다네 아니 지 가서 그래 탁시에 연보 니 야고 쿠야 도저라 파삼다 그뒤에 신장라데 파릉 물어봐 이식 말어봐 네 단다랑 가시 니 먹으나 니 고미하고 전에 니 후에라 강해매죠 아니 곰 잡제 셈바제직도 이제요나 아니 샤르드인데 제대 나잡 당구면도 와신데 기승이 아자라 현在쉬거든데 영화 총사 샤주 제사도 비르메디 트르드 나도 쉬고당도 계획이대로 아니 마 첨부 쓰셔야 되네 나자 베데 근데 나자 디스타우다 남산지 라모코미아다 근데 곰바다 남산이 구루스 근데 제네 강예신 테미도 하시다
알레온
그래도 곰게 편여로 하시는 곰게 편여 지 가서 우리 신장来的 다 타른 물에 단단하게 소왕고가 나라고 편도에 님망 보여로 봐 대다다 등산 가라서 자전에 망고 배주 지고요래 아니 모든 생리 버드즈가 kunzu mangbo gom janye la daje chene ne dubdyen tinde mangbo ten research chen yo mangbo ta tinga google na la ta da thong gu da ro o de zu ta be ina ne kunzu daje che mi le ya de thangbo gom ma ja kon la ne stress ta anxiety da depression de zo angi du ya shu pha de do ro an tunda je zu de je le ya gom tunda je zu ja jen de ni ma re kama chuze ji javerda kama nimare kama chuchu je dunda je ji javeji dunda je ji la da je ji je de ne dig log da de je be chanyan bu de de dinde de ya do duzu thona ne ya do ro
stable light okay so stabilizer so okay. Now the results the example would be that you know when you go to work because you are spurred on by getting the wages. You know, you work hard from morning to night because you want to get the wages from your job. It is similar when you know the benefits of single-pointed concentration and you can see them. Having seen those benefits, you will strive to accomplish mental quiescence. So, but even before the cultivation of calm abiding proper, shamatha proper, there will be some benefit to the immune system just from having meditated, without cultivating what we're setting out to do. Because, for example, our blood, due to the immune system increasing as a benefit of the meditation, our blood pressure is even and we can sleep well. And this is even before we get the mental and physical serviceability or pliancy we were talking of. It is strange, like my sister had to have quite a serious operation. She had tremendous pain, I think, in the back, or like a wound there, but because her meditation on the Guru, on the Lama, was quite good, it was a benefit of the meditation that she didn't go through much pain during this operation. So let alone the benefits of calm abiding, which are this incredible lightness of body and mind. These days, scientists are studying the benefits of meditation on the body in terms of blood pressure, and they did this study or research over 8 months, and they tested the participants before and after that period of 8 months, and they were only meditating like 10 minutes a day. So then they checked the levels of stress and anxiety before and after the 8 months, the machines were stable. Yeah, because they believe machines. They wired the practitioners to those, what are they called? Wave. BCG, thank you. Thanks, Kishla.
그래서 평양 단다 디시에 디 신장세야 디 딩인 좀 공배 평양으로 와 제가.
야.
아니 디도 안아서 어느 지 내가 채널에 검자나 깔래카 면조지요나다 아니 야우시도라.
Those benefits of pliancy of body and mind, it would be great if we could work and meditate with no kind of discomfort or lethargy.
다 된대게 신장의 깨워지고 신장의 유카레 딩이진 공부로 와. 딩이진 눈에 신장 연구로 와. 네 딩이진 고면라다 준비 좀 거고요. 세단다 준비된 거고요. 그래서
Right, so then we go, okay, so if the result of this practice is pliancy, this lightness of body and mind, then what is its cause? Then we know that its cause is calm abiding. So then we have enthusiasm to cultivate it. No.
다 딩이진 깨워져라. 준비 좀 발라. 아니 대퇴된 예배 퇴녀기 눈바타고 거고요.
But before the enthusiasm to cultivate calm abiding comes, we have to have the yearning or the aspiration to do that. So we have this factor of yearning.
다들 퇴녀기 눈바자와라. 아니 딩이진 퇴된 예배 눈바텔라 딩이진디 연된 통네. 아니 텔라야 대바제 거래로.
But even before yearning to cultivate calm abiding through effort, we need to know, okay, so what are the results of this practice? So you have to have what's called a conviction or a faith in the result.
제가 대발랍디다 망보지게 양보지 몽대게 대발로 걸어거래. 오늘에는 몽대게 대화 인지 말을 듣는 거예요. 몽대 대화 용신이 요 말이에요. 다들 이 배진 책도다 되게 요 말을
blind faith.
세디 배진디 대화세디 그 셈나라야 네 당왕 가외 넘버진 시작으로 네 배직세 먼저 셈 녀과데 셈 녀된 저디야 당화선이지 배 소리리 선이지고 여러 대화세야 되는 거네 이나로
야
네 디 몽대게 대발라디 따다 대화 말에 다디
So this faculty of conviction or faith in calm abiding, we should not confuse. There are many types of faith. We should not confuse faith here with a type of blind faith. The faith we're talking about here is a clarity of mind and a joy that is completely clear of like this doubt or confusion.
세상다 대화들이야 숨샤고로 숨 대전 숨로
Yeah,
다음에 대화 아니 원도지 대화 이집의 대화스러워 다음에
so
대화서야 돼 연대 통하는 것도 수수지 개간다 아니 미래가 야부치니 미 셈바 남다 셈바 장보인에도 통한데 수수지 레기도 알아
yeah,
다미 배지 계좌 주머라고 지시해지는 대응적으로 언제 쓰는데 바로 로드고면도 와
yeah.
이제 당원이죠 아니 지배 가서 그래 심 띵게 네 띵네 네 가서 그래 배 대화단 자제 아니 왜다 지 가서 그랬다 그런 신세는 레그로 왔어
Yeah, sincere.
어디 유튜브상가라 데 라마다지다 고구면도 와 수술을 찍 레그도 알아 지 수술 셈라야지 갈한라라고 지 연구도 와 어딜래야 네 다음에 대화서 그래 다음에 대화서 연대 통네 네 셈나라 갈한라 시게 연구도 하대 제가
This faith can be divided into three types: clear faith, longing faith, and faith of conviction. The first one, clear faith, would be that when you see, for example, the teacher's qualities and you clearly want them, you see, or you see, for example, the qualities of a colleague and they might seem honest and sincere, and there's kind of like a real deep recognition of that clearly. You don't necessarily need a lama for that.
다들 표절해야지 심 시바당 흘려다 근데 이거도 아직 근데 지금 알아 중으로 신는 서와 딜라 몸바 되베 당와서 몸바 되버서 다 근데지 말에 근데지 중으로 신나 삼산지 연구도 심나 어디리
Right. So then if you see that that person is a very relaxed person, very pacified, then you have the thought, oh, I wish I could cultivate such a mind. So there's this longing faith of wanting to be like that, wanting to get to that.
이 집에 대화서야 돼. 책 쉐어인데 책도 쉐어나지 되는 내가 아니 수수 지금 가와지 내가 아 되는 거네 레스로 봐. 당과되는 거는 저다 좀 된데는 좀 된데 송션ਜੋ 책도서 송은데 뒤제 탐제 미다고 그래서 레다 뒤제 해야 돼. 특별히 삼사를 지금 레고도 아니 저 탐제 동신 다음에 그래서 아니 거외 저 탐제 동해란 시리즈 당보다 견자도 와다. 다 삼로다나 그 동해버릇 잖냐래도 타만디버릇 잖냐래도 하러 그 가와다나 타딩 조르지 거하게 쳐들이다 좀 내대 숨고 데마레샤사네 될 좀 내들라 송송들라 이 집에 대화리기도 하들 이 집에 대화서 거다.
And this third type of faith, that is faith of conviction, it would be upon hearing certain words of truth, reflecting on them and thinking, oh, this is the case. This is really reality. So, for example, when Buddha taught that all compound things are impermanent, one can reflect on that, and all phenomena are empty and in the nature of non-self. So, for example, when Buddha said that the nature of conditioned existence is by nature suffering, you might have thought that's strange at the beginning, but really when you think deeper on it, you come to see this is the case.
지난데 이제 제일 문제인데 송도 대다게 그림니 다들 단다디래 그림도 냠슬라네 때나 아니 최신도 세베 녀와신 때마쳐 오달래 다디 우대 단당한 저 신장당 준주당 dumba당 대바당 되게디 안내당 될라 내와당 주단데 우니도 오사데다 시디 덴바레로 레로탄에 당아제스도 레로데 녀와당 보셰자로 대년볼라 년보시디 내단 될라 내와당 주단데 우니도 오사데네 단다 니 신장당 준주당 dumba당 대화당 되게디 네 레로그 년보 임바디 셰와데 다치 세보 카세보 임바마제 아니 내가 전부 쉬어지래도 와스다 지르마징 되송라.
Yeah. So with regards to this cultivating these first four positive attributes of mind that are a countermeasure to laziness. We hear from Maitreya's text on the separation from the middle, separation of the middle from the extremes. The basis and what it is based upon are the cause and result. Here, the basis being talked about is this yearning or aspiring. What it's based upon is the enthusiasm, the endeavor. So this is talking about, and the yearning is confident faith or conviction in the qualities of concentration, and the result is pliancy. Yes.
그런데 우달라는 내단 텔라 내버스 내 세야디 둠바셰르바 텔라 내니 둠바데서 네
Yeah.
소베네서 서바
Yeah. So where the text says the basis and what it's based on. So the basis here is to yearn for it, to aspire for it. No.
네버니 좀 준주서 내단 텔라 네버스 네버 니버디 좀 준주스레스바
So what is that basis based upon in turn? It is the effort that is enthused to get it.
다 주단 되분이도 주사데 둠바니 주의 연된라 니 이체베 대바체로 대바 주사데 아니 둠베 주 대바체 텔라데네 아니 조월체네 조베 데부세데 아니 신장용으로 해서
Based upon it are the cause and its result. So the cause, once more coming back to your faith and conviction and the qualities of calm abiding, and the result itself, which we said was physical and mental pliancy.
다 제로면신데 송다 마질로시는 내난도 데르 곰바체베 띵인제 연데니 에스로와다 데르 단다 시네 곰바체베 연데니 시네 좀나 아니 셈라 가와당스로와 시네 두베이나 아니 셈라 가와 룰레 대와 게베스로와 통줄레 대와네와서 통줄레 대와네와서나 아니 곰자베이나 곰자베 류덴 다가란라 곰자베 드베디 뇽투고 요상 어디 시고다 통줄데네세데
Right.
곰 간도 밀 류덴들 곰자로 곰잡잡잡인데 곰자베 드베디 세다가란라 간도 뇽투고 요상 통줄레 데네세고다 대와네와서
So Lama Tsongkhapa, page 34 of the text, goes on to state what then are the benefits or the good qualities of concentration. When you reach serenity, your mind is filled with delight and your body filled with bliss. So you're happy in this lifetime. So this point about being happy in this lifetime means that on this basic support of being human, the result comes right there. The bliss comes right there. No.
다 류심 신장서다 류단 심 신장서는 등기 시행바
Yeah.
신장서에 다 가시에데 흉수수나 고단 때때때서 맨다요 신장서에 아니 류신장다 심 신장서 신장다 신장게 대화를 겨워요 단다 신장서에 아니 가서는 류 겨워라 거들어 될라 류신장 심 겨워라 거들어 될라 심 신장서요다
Right. So we have to kind of discriminate. We've talked about pliancy being this serviceability or encrypted likeness of body and mind, but there are two aspects to it. The first aspect of pliancy is that it's so easy for the body to just turn to virtue or sit in virtue, and the mind likewise. But latterly, there's a bliss aspect there as well.
그래서 류심 신장게 류심 신대장과 예베스 토바서 그러 토베이나 아니 심 게베미고 칸디 거드로 제가 류신장 심신장게 아니 똑바데 톱스나나 아니 심디 겨와 가리가나 샤베이나 샤셔죠 단단한 우주 쉽자고도 알아
Yeah.
굴롱 제아 밀레편도 치기야什么 치기 다 신의 톱사나 가리가나 샤나 답베 나다면 로셔고다
So then, the result, since you have attained physical and mental pliancy, you can turn your attention to any virtuous object of meditation at will. This is a very important point. Once you have that insight of pliancy or awareness of it, you've cultivated it, then any virtuous object you turn your mind to is so easy. For us, we have to really kind of force, before our meditations, we have to think, motivate, I want to help others and so forth. But it is very easy with pliancy.
다 라와메와 친줄로 유라 영화신이 라와메와 먼저 라와메와 유 친줄로를 주도거라.
Yeah.
안 친줄로를 주도거라 봐. 따과 마인발라 따과진이라 다드투와 마인발라 다드투와진 아니 템바투와 마인발라 템바투와진 텐데라다 베데 라와메와 유 친줄로를 주도거라. 다시네 토베나 라와메와 유 친줄로 유라 영화디 다다 영도다 람상 영도라. 영화디 신에서 제가 영화디 시베 영화 시인도는 예저만 보면 좋아라. 다 와가지고 로 친줄로라 만도나나 아니 딜라덴베 딕디 차단 용거 말 차단면은 딜라덴베는 예와 용거야 말 단단가지고 로로고 당진당 아니 되자당 아제당 차도당 심진대원은 더 인상 아니 가지고 르기 남주 나게 책담마다 된데 셰벌 되네 아니 동해 또 디바 망고사가도 와서 신의 톱자는 디고사야데 용으로 요래 개와 제바이나 톱첨보 디고도도 람산람산 잼tum이 된데 차용고 요래서
It goes on. Since you have quelled uncontrolled distraction towards the wrong sort of objects, you're not constantly involved in wrongdoing, and any virtue you do is very powerful. Here, for us, although phenomena are impermanent, we constantly cling to their permanence. And although, things are in the nature of suffering, we cling to their bliss. And then things are in the nature of non-self, but we allude a self-nature to things, or they lack true existence, but we see them as truly existent. And because of all of those chinjilok yulo, because of all of those mistaken perceptions of things, our minds are distracted, and as a result of those distractions, self-grasping comes, desires, attachment, aversion, all of that. And as a result of those afflictive emotions, the actions you do are negative. It could be like a bad body gesture or something, or mental non-virtues. But with this pliancy, because the virtues by nature are powerful because they're directed towards a virtuous object, and the non-virtues naturally subdued. No.
아니 텔라데네 신에 톰나 신에 되네 ngö시두야 아니 ngö시들라니 신심 ngö시 아니 랑기 제외 ngö네지네 ngö시로
라릴라
어디든데 네 ngö시든데 또 신심시야다 아니 랑기 겨와 ng마마고 야 텐도야 된대 연구여로 다 겨와 대심바디 신야 렐하고 마음바디 시야 카가 요르세도
라리기슬라. So then other benefits of this serenity, calm abiding, you can achieve the super knowledges of clairvoyance, of knowing others' minds, being able to see one's past lives, which is said to be easier than seeing future lives.
And then
then one can start to get the ability to do miraculous things.
아디 현자도와 주주된 세단 배나 신의 톱산에 주주된도 수수게 아니 강 진이 줘버들라 배나 근데 연구도 하던 아마 좀 된데 셰슈베네 좀 된데 다 당보 힌두게 라마지를 라마디 기도 투야 상마네 주주지 띵징 나네 장장 기도 메시지게 두승아라서 계시제 최근 송문다라 티암세고 쇼다라
야
아니 띵징 곰 띵이지 내대 야차도 아니 띵이지 안에 기겐 제도도 곰 자서디 자갈라 제데 요르데 최셰서디 요 히말라야리 카리지라 셰셔도 이 주주지 띵이지 신의 톱사입니다 아니 기독데 야 티시 히말라야리 카리지라 최송지데 곰 자서 수부디 자가 차별롱바 되대요 심디에 정말 쉬우지 사절 내대요 어떤 주류기 된데 띵이징이 또 취시해야 된대. 양도 탄다. 싫은 분들에 좀 된데 띵이징 냠바샤 하시면 안에 저 뒤치기도 띵이징 냠바샤 하시면 안에 뒤치가 아도 탄다. 예. 진짜 싫은 분 딱봐 쪼고요.
야.
좀 된데 다가랑 레도 하셔서. 치스 취업송야 데 학과들 특징이 취. 그래서 띵이징 안에다 주류지고 예, 송되었는데 망고도 하라.
So then, it could seem strange, the power of miracles due to single-pointed concentration. So, for example, Shakyamuni Buddha, when instructing students, would not necessarily teach as we know it, using the words in a teaching situation, but teach with miraculous power. So, for example, one of the Hindu lamas that was being taught by Buddha, Buddha's body would remain in a warm part of India, but through miraculous powers, he would also go to the Himalayas, a very cold place, and instruct that disciple there. So that that type of teaching could take place, and also the power of single-pointed concentration is alluded to in the Heart Sutra, where it is a discourse that takes place from within the power of Samyak Sambuddha, the Buddha's samadhi that takes place, isn't it? That we read every day, every time.
단다 콜로 셔러닝 무슨서디 자구 공부를 써라.
Yeah.
자구 공부를 등장한도 제가 줘라.
Yeah.
때들이 간들래 미숨주 주마지지래로.
Yeah.
근데 저 손도 결혼 앞자던데 쓰는 거로. 제가 뒤두르고도 그네. 예 송거요디 세우셔래도 결혼 앞자 인데 송다로.
Yeah. So it is the case that a lot of Dharma, moreover, Mahayana vehicle Dharma, would be taught from within that state of meditative ekapoise, of concentration. So, for example, when we go to pilgrimage to Rajgir, to the place where the Heart Sutra was taught, it could only, when you see the place, it's quite small, maybe 30 people could fit there. But it is said when Buddha taught that there were 500 bhikshus, 500 gelong.
제가 이제 아니 단다데 뒤져 다가라는 아니 단다 셔러닝 무슨에 뒤져 다가라는 아메 자갈호죠 반데 되분라 두고자지 송으로 제가 주르기도 송자 되다 주르기도.
Yeah, so another quality of concentration, being able to teach in a miraculous way. So simultaneous with teaching the Heart Sutra in Rajgir, Lord Buddha was teaching in South India in Drepung, Sangha.
두고.
Oh yeah, Kalachakra teaching was given in South
India.
At exactly the same time.
안다 벼도봐 엄마 나별 되게 어려워. 아니 미가시엘라 수수 대회 겨울무진 제 된다 망고 정도 겨울무진.
알레.
제게 던 겨울무진 포단라다 심중 열어봐. 심중나라. 아니 슈디가나 면람제문데 겨울무진 슈디가나 제 미망고는 제.
알레.
근데 제 아니야 제 무슨 정보셔. 제를 천재만 오더에 겨울무진 제 무슨 미망고 제도 근데 여러다 수수 대화다 이제다 근데 얘네야 근데 연구야 세상 하나도 이 낭배추에 때지 말한도 누저기 지저기 잡을 때지 여러 세상 때지 맨다지 여러다 저런도 때지 사버로 때지 여러 가시에 시에로도 오늘은 시에고 말대 야고도 오늘은 등산 미상와 뺏어라 거로 알아 examen 가오로 하네. examen 제야 고여다데. 뭐네.
In Tibet, it was the case when I was there also that some people had such faith in His Holiness the Dalai Lama in his palace, in his room, they would actually see him there on the throne. actually see him due to their faith and conviction. I tried a few times, but I didn't get to see him. Anyway. Yeah, it's probably those people's uncommon karma ripening, but for me, I didn't have the faith or something, whatever. But anyway, that's interesting for us as Westerners now that the Buddha Dharma's come here, and people are always looking for something new to get excited about. That could be like that. Yeah, I mean, those are the real good things to get excited about, right? You know. And stay in your own room meditating and then to see them. How wonderful would that be to see them? So when my sister was being operated upon, the doctor and the one doing the operation, they seemed to have a clear vision of Tara's face. Yeah, Tara's face. Yeah, they did in the midst of that situation, Tara's face appeared.
아자 말은 nga drama 사기 drama 뉴스 nga 가가샤 nga drama 사기 아자 셈나라 drama 사 drama 건데들 샤주시 데데요 아자 drama 사지 데데
알레 아자 코람
닝조다라 샤주시 셈나라 drama 사지 미 샤주시 제들 아자 drama 사 데데
so during the actual operation that sister didn't want to be bothered. She was being operated on, but totally doing the 21 towers at that time. There can be benefits when the mind is going through difficulty to meditate.
아니 kilube lelo sumje lelo de nyembula 아니 대화 듬바 준주 신장 어디 시들이로 다들 두즈데 장 두즈 셰버체나 네 야고요로.
So this week it is good for us to be aware of the first of those faults that stop us cultivating calm abiding, which we mentioned was laziness. There is laziness where we feel tired and kind of heavy that we don't want to do it. And then there's laziness where we put ourselves down, kind of a self-deprecation, thinking we can't achieve it. And then there's the laziness of putting something off, again and again procrastinating. So it would be good to know those three types, but also to know what are the antidotes to those. So to know the result of pliancy, effort, aspiration and faith, those four, how they function. No.
어디 뒤에서 비자 따로 아니 저는도 비자면은 타자다 드는 거는 되더라.
Yeah.
람림지 칠려냐나 야고요 저는.
Yeah. So then please read the text. If you don't have a copy, hard copy, you can probably find this online, but I do think it's better to have the hard copy close.
Oh, did
it? So I've got a few copies of these. Maybe we can give them out later. Yeah, it's good to keep the chart. Have the chart.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Questions now?
About transmission. I was talking to Philippa last week, and she said that she'd done like a series, like playing the first chapter, got off to Dharamsala, and got like the first chapter over many years, and slowly got the transmission to Lamrim.
Yes.
That's the way to do it.
Okay, so the question was Geshe mentioned the importance of having the transmission of the text, and you had heard that you can get these transmissions over a series of time.
You start with chapter 1.
Yeah, with chapters. So the question is then,
Is this the right way of doing it?
Ale. So is that the right way of doing it? Kishla lung se ti tene shini jo pick up la oni chene lung yuna yapu yorwadi.
Really?
Tene morang la lung se ti pena jagra lo jona lama ki dun la lung dang chi den zarai ki ti gokap rana yapu yorwadi.
Really?
Tene dezen mi jawa Leo pena Leo tangbo nipa sungpa ti pangrim na jona lung dang ti den zarana tigrebes yapudves.
Really, yawer. 다 롱 쉬어라 인지 자갈 다 도고 이나면 간시. 수수 당부 개겐데 수수 라마 땡고라 라마딜라 시내기 티줄롱 요나 되는 거 봐. 저 라마지고 고요. 라마면은 자가도네 라마면은 롱수난 그래.
Yeah. Is it really necessary to go to India? The most important thing is that you have a spiritual friend or a lama that you would rely on, because that's the one that's giving the transmission. Just going to India is, yeah.
네, this 수수 개겐 라마 요나 아니 되게 지거봐 걸 수수그다. 검대다 튕긴 상거 요나 아니 네 라양 거라라.
Yeah, because if you have a teacher, then all of the knowledge that's passed down in terms of meditation and these transmissions will come from them.
어디고 다 데라 티줄롱 마 주가 마체바 유든 요시고 고요래.
Now, what's important here is that the transmissions that are given in the sense that they haven't been broken, unbroken lineage.
어디고 고요래.
That's important.
디체는 가서 다 라만라야디 개체부터 거린치부 찍어야 돼. 금제 된데라고 요러. 디체는 디기 거린데는 가서 곰자하게 누가디라고 요러. 된데 그 차는 가서 찍이 요러면 신다게 배배가 라마지 찍어서 지금 거들 배배 깔자고 소리인데 걔 말다 돼. 금제는 덴베고네 샤고 요러.
Now, this is the reason we say the Lama is so kind, because they bestow these transmissions and advice on meditation, and we have the opportunity to do that because of that. You don't just seek out a Tibetan Lama because of some cultural thing. The reason you would seek out a Tibetan Lama is because there's a valid reason to do so.
시마다 양저디 점이 표시면서 차이는 거도. 점이 표시인데 표디 점이 차시에 그거들이야. 그게 톱단으로 배지 적어야 돼. 되게 말아라. 아니 라마 그거요 가지려야 라마 찌먹어.
Yeah, that,
점이기 시중으로 차도지기도 한데.
yeah, without that, it would be like China taking over Tibet with a plan that's just political. So we wouldn't view a Lama like that in cultural, political terms. But these perhaps are new ideas in the West and difficult, not always easy to cement. Really, one has to think on it, how that person or how they're kind, without thinking on the reasons deeper. It is difficult. Without that, you can get into problems.
Lamrim yago lobjon che en lamrim na la gegen den da zo chazan yor da ko den marwa ta daning on zo do sarwa ta tande choran zo ya ka jin to bodum le
Now, so that's why it's important to study texts such as this, the graduated stages to awakening, because it goes through the step-by steps. For example, how to correctly rely on the teacher. But some of us have kind of like jumped in at the top end. But having said that, the whole of these stages have to be studied and known. So this is a time when the Kadampa transmission, the transmission of advice is textual. You know, we need to rely on the treatises.
진정한조 단다 람림당 아니 곰림 바바당 우다당 되저게 아니 셰주룽주도 단다간조 페베냐데요. 제가 지난주 단기 멜람로 페베가딘 친구인 삼 멜람데서 되저시나 아니 페베가딘 친구인 버데 하고 그러. 단다상고 점블링나는 가조 냐데 차장한테 이해되러. 딜라고요.
What is being recognized is that all of these stages on the path to enlightenment, as were mentioned with regards to cultivating shamatha, these texts are like Kamala Shila's stages of meditation and so forth, are still held to this day as a valid lineage, and the Tibetan tradition has that. That's why when you say those prayers remembering the kindness of Tibet, that's what you're recognizing, that such a teaching still abides in the world. No. Yeah, really, it is like we have this gem. We're holding this gem in the world. Yeah, it is true, isn't it? The only other thing is that they degenerate, and then it's difficult if it's lost. If it's lost. The Tibetan kings, the lamas, the monks, they sacrificed their lives and practice for this. Yeah. So then, if you understand what they did, then when you do the prayers for those people, it might have a bit of weight behind it. Otherwise, you think, well, why would we pray for such Tibetan people? Yeah. Yeah, recognizing credence where it's due, like getting a Nobel Peace Prize. Getting the Nobel Peace Prize is accredited to those who have done something. It should be like that. We'll stop now.
Page 31 for the short mandala.
Read up Lingxi, Nite Genpati, Sangye Shingdun Mite, Tokun Namda Shingla Japa So, Rapishi,
Nakatin Pe Chochu Gepadu, Lozong Tenpe Dron Me Sasungi, Drowe
Munsa,
Neguchi,
Idam Guru Ratna Mandala
Kamiriyatayami. Page 33, Prayers of Dedication. Due to the merit of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain strength pure Buddha. I need all of the means without exception into that enlightened state. May the supreme pure body be the baptism of risen, rise and grow. May that which has arisen not diminish, but increase. Whatever slight positive potential may have created, by paying homage, offering, and acknowledging I dedicate all these roots of virtue with the dedication of grace and respect, by the victorious one thus gone for 3 times, so that I might perform the noble bodhisattva's deeds. May the king of dharmas on Karpa's way of dharma practice flourish. May the omens of obstacles be pacified and all the conducive circumstances be complete. The wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the comparatively kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled.